Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a really good day. Good day here, a nice sunny day, but still a bunch of snow around, so kind of sucks, but that's okay. My poor car is kind of buried in snow, so I can't get it out of my driveway. But oh well, there are worse problems, I guess. And I did not get enough sleep last night. I'm not doing so well at getting to bed early enough, so still working on it, but still not really being very successful. Hey Teresa, how's it going? So I've been in the fitness and nutrition profession for a lot of years, about 18 years, and I've talked to a lot of people over the years. And one topic that keeps coming up quite often is emotional eating. Hey, Jennifer. And I think we've all experienced some sort of emotional eating at some point in our lives, whether it's celebrating something or comforting yourself, or you're just bored, so you're eating because you're bored. I know I used to struggle a lot with emotional eating, and my reasons for eating were definitely tied deeply to my emotions, and it ended up being kind of a bad thing. So I do understand the whole emotional eating thing. I still struggle with it. I think anyone who's ever struggled with it before, you kind of always struggle with it because that's kind of your go-to coping mechanism sort of thing. But it's possible to deal with it and to get away from that. Hey Mel, how's it going? So if you're not sure if you're an emotional eater, here's some things to look for to decide if you're eating because of emotions or if you're eating because of actual physical hunger. Hey Ryan. So one thing with emotional hunger is that it causes you to crave specific comfort foods. So the next time that you think you might be hungry and you're just wanting to eat something, ask yourself if you would be satisfied eating something healthy like fruit or vegetables or just some kind of healthy food. And if you think about that healthy food and you're like, no, that's not really going to satisfy what I'm feeling right now, then more than likely the hunger that you're feeling is more emotional than it is physical hunger. And emotional hunger also often leads to mindless eating. So I think we've all done that where we've eaten the giant bag of chips or whatever, and it's like, I can't believe I ate that whole bag. And you just ate it kind of mindlessly, not really realizing how much you were eating. You didn't really enjoy it. I've done that before, and you feel like crap afterwards. So if you notice that you're doing quite a bit of mindless eating, more than likely what's driving you to eat is your emotions. Um, and the thing with emotional hunger is it doesn't go away just because you're full. Like, some people will say, well, if you're overeating and you're overweight, well, just stop eating. Well, it's not that easy for everyone. Not everyone eats through cues from their body. Some people are dealing with emotions, and how they deal with emotions is through food, is using food. So if that's the case, when you get full, you're not necessarily going to stop eating because what you're seeking is comfort and feeling better. Okay, I think we're back. The connection is weak where I'm sitting right beside all of my stuff. So the connection should be strong, you would think. But I'm going to move out here into the studio, see if that's better. So, yeah, like I was saying, I mean, if you are eating to comfort yourself or to avoid an emotion, when you're feeling full, you're not going to stop. That's because that's not what you're trying to achieve. You're not trying to achieve fullness. You're trying to achieve comfort. So if you notice that you're eating even though you're full, chances are it's because you're serving your emotional hunger and not physical hunger. And the really bad thing about emotional eating is it often leads to feelings of guilt and shame and just, regretting that you ate that. And that's a terrible way to feel. And then because maybe you started eating because you were feeling bad and now you feel bad because you were eating so much, then it leads to more eating. It's just a vicious cycle. So if you notice that, you're eating and then afterwards you're feeling guilty about that, then again, it's probably emotional eating and not actual hunger. Because when you're feeding yourself because of physical hunger, you don't feel bad about that because you're nourishing your body. Your body needs that. But when you're feeding yourself because you're feeling emotional, deep down you know it's not for nourishment. So that's where those bad feelings can come from. So it's really not an easy thing to stop. A lot of people struggle with it. Hey Jansen, how's it going? But you can. I mean, there's things you can do to help get over get over this. And it does take some work. It takes a lot of focus, and you have to decide to do it and then commit to doing it. Hi, Kim. So one of the first things you need to do is identify what your trigger is. So what causes you to eat? Is it stress, or is it sadness, or is it happiness, or is it just boredom? So figure out what your trigger is, and then have a plan for when you're feeling that particular emotion. So maybe if you eat when you're bored, the next time that you find yourself bored, get up and do something. Get on Facebook if you have to, and chat with some friends, like just something to distract you so you're not feeling bored. So Jansen, you'll eat a whole pint of ice cream. Not sure if it's my feelings. It's probably your feelings. I was just saying earlier that emotional eating often leads to mindless eating. So it's very easy to eat, a pint of ice cream or a giant bag of chips or whatever, and not even really realize that you're doing it until it's gone. And then just because you weren't eating mindfully, which is not what you're doing when you're eating in response to your emotions. You're not eating mindfully. So another thing you can do is tell someone close to you that you need some support, that you're struggling with this, and that you would like to be able to reach out to them when you're feeling like turning to food. So just having that buddy that you could text or phone or message on Messenger, just, when you're feeling like you just want to deal with your emotions by using food, have this person that you can reach out to. And the good thing is that during the conversation you're having with this person, that craving might actually subside and go away, and just by talking to your friend you're going to feel better. So that might be a much better way to deal with that emotion. Yeah, Jansen, it does taste good. A little too good. I hear you there. And keeping a healthy kitchen. So here's a good one for you, Jansen. Don't keep those foods that you tend to turn to on hand. It's okay to have those foods that give you comfort once in a while. I mean, of course, it's good to treat yourself once in a while, but don't always have them in the house ready for you, because sometimes when you're craving something, if it's not in the house, chances are that you're not going to go out and get it, and you'll just let that craving subside. You'll deal with it another way. If you do decide that you absolutely have to have it and you're going to go out and get it, make yourself walk to go and get it. And what might happen is just by walking, you're going to feel better, you're going to have that fresh air, and that might be enough to kind of soothe you and comfort you and make you feel better, rather than turning to food and then feeling bad afterwards. And then the other one is keeping yourself busy. So especially if you tend to eat due to boredom, which was a big one for me. When I was bored, I was eating. So keep yourself busy. So you can take up a new hobby. You could take a course. You could do an online course, learn something you've always been curious about. Adopt a pet. Pets are great for distracting you. You can start a blog. Why not start a blog? I know it takes up quite a bit of my time to do my blog, so that's a great way to use up some time, and you get to share information with people. So it's a win-win. So just find something some kind of activity or something that gives you comfort, makes you feel more fulfilled. Quite often when you're eating due to emotions, you are feeling empty and you're trying to feel fulfillment. So if you can find something that isn't food that meets that for you, then it's going to be a much better outcome for sure. Hi, Cindy. Hey, Robin. So emotional eating, definitely hard to overcome. If you do struggle with it, chances are you're always going to struggle with it, but you can control it. It's going to take some work. It's going to be tough. You're not always going to be super successful. I'm not always successful. That's just what it is. But think about how you feel, and think about especially if you're feeling like you're really out of control right now. If you're really feeling like you don't have control, just think about how that's making you feel, and just decide that that's not good enough for you anymore, and that you're ready to leave that behind, and your well-being is more important than turning to that short escape that you get while you're eating, because it is an escape. But it's short-lived, and then when it's done, then you're back to reality, and chances are you're feeling even worse. So, give it some real thought. Decide that you're done with it now. Get some help. Reach out for help. There are people that will help you. So, I know it's a tough one, and if I can help you guys out, of course, always you can message me anytime. So I'm gonna run. Sorry about that big gap there earlier when I lost my connection. I don't know what happened because I'm sitting right next to all of the equipment there that's supposed to give me internet. Sitting right next to it, and I still have a bad connection, so I'll have to talk to my provider about that. So Kim, reading your posts and watching your videos helps me a lot. That's awesome, Kim. I love hearing that. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Yeah, that, I like to put the stuff out there. I figure if it's stuff that I've been thinking about, and especially when it's stuff that a lot of my clients ask me about, I figure there's probably a lot of people wondering about that. So I'm happy to share, what I've learned about it and how I've learned to cope with things and that kind of thing. So happy to share it with you guys. You can always check out the rest of my blog at holyfit.ca. Everything's up there. I've got some neat little exercises there too. If you feel like doing a quick workout, that's a good way to distract yourself if you're feeling like you're going to solve an emotional problem by eating. You could do a quick little workout. That's on my blog. If you do, let me know. Let me know what you thought of it. So I got to run, get set up for the next class. I'll be back again tomorrow, and you guys have an awesome evening. Talk to you soon.